God, he's got the big one. Oh, Jesus. I can't. Oh, God. Help. God damn it. Look, it's in the bucket. Oh, Sammy's coming. Sammy, help you. I went in the house there a while ago to see what was for supper, and the old lady said she's fixing cow tongue. I said, well, I ain't gonna eat nothing that came out of a damn animal's mouth. Throw that shit out and fry me some eggs. I seen this here guy the other day walking down the road pulling this log chain. I said, what are you pulling that log chain for? And he said, you ever try pushing wood? My neighbor came over there a while ago, and my dog was laying there all gapped open licking himself, and the neighbor said, well, I wish I could do that. And I said, well, you probably could, but you better wait. Pet him first. Fella called me the other day and wanted me to explain what jayhawking is. Well, I don't have time to do it in 30 seconds. I have to wait. I have to get more water, get more time, not explain it to you. Went to the doctor the other day to get a checkup, and he told me I could buy green bananas if I wanted to, but can't because I ain't got the money to buy gas to go get them. Me and my buddy were walking down the road the other day, and I smelled shit and asked him if he shit in his britches. He said no. I said, well, look, you got shit over the back of your leg. And he said, oh, I thought you meant today. Buddy came over this morning, had a big knot on his head. I said, well, how'd you get that knot on your head? He said, I got it in church. I said, you got it in church? He said, yeah. I said, a couple of weeks ago, went to the church and sat in there, and the preacher said, grab your songbook and everybody rise. Well, we stood up, and there was a woman right there in front of me, her dress touching her butt crack, so I thought I'll be a good guy. And I reached up her and pulled it out. Well, she turned around and gave me a good cussing. Yeah, well, what happened to your head? I said, well, next week, my brother came, wanted to go to church. So we went to church, and we sat in there, and the preacher said, grab your handbook, and all right, we're going to sing a song. Well, we stood up, blah, blah, blah. That same woman standing there, and sure enough, her dress was in her butt check. And before I could say anything, my brother reached up there and pulled it out. Well, I knew it was going to piss her off, so I reached up there and I poked it back in, and that's when it happened. She turned around and hit me with that damn songbook. That's all I got to say about that. You get the feeling somebody's looking at you. This man and his wife was on a train there one night, going for a ride, and he had to go to the bathroom. The bathroom was locked up, out of order. He didn't know what he was going to do. His wife said, well, stick your ass out the window. You got to go that bad. So he put the window down, he stuck his ass out there, and he let her fly. Right as he was doing that, they came through a railroad crossing. There was two guys standing there, and that shit hit him right in the face. That one didn't know what that guy was chewing. And the other guy said, I don't know, but see the jaws on him? Neighbor came over the other day, wanted to know if I had any trouble going to the bathroom. So he was caked up, constipated, couldn't go. I said, well, I don't have a bit of trouble. I take a good shit every morning at 7 o'clock. The only thing, the trouble is, I don't get up till 9. Neighbor came over today and said there's something getting in his garden, eating everything. I don't know if I knew what to do. I said, yeah, you need to get you a handful of apples and put them on the south side of the garden by, and then set a trap beside it. And then get you a handful of peanuts and put it on the other end and set a trap beside it. And next morning you go out there and you catch anything, you know, if you call them by the apples or by the nuts. This here old young bull and old bull was down on this hill looking down and pastured a bunch of young heifers. Young bull said, let's run down there and screw all them. The old bull looked at him and said, well, let's walk down there and screw all of them. Some 90-year-old man, he went to the whorehouse and got down there, standing there pulling up his britches. The woman said, well, you think you can come again tomorrow? He said, well, yeah, I just live down the street. The wife came on this afternoon, all flustered, afraid, and mad. And I said, well, what's the matter? She said, well, I was downtown and shopping. I went into the shoe store to get me some shoes. I was sitting in the chair there and had my feet up on the footstool, and the salesman was there helping me put the shoes on. And he noticed I didn't have no panties on. He said, you fill that full of ice cream and all, you'd every bit of it. Well, that made me mad. I came home, I want you to go down there and beat him up. And I said, well, there's 3 reasons I ain't gonna go down there. Number 1, you don't need to be buying shoes because the whole damn closet full of shoes. And number 2, you should have had your panties on. And number 3, he must be a big bastard if he can eat that much ice cream. A lady came over this morning and wanted to know if I heard what happened last night. And I said, no, what happened? She said, well, I went to visit my grandma and was watching TV and this guy breaks in the house and said he wants all of her money and jewelry, and then he's gonna rape both of us. Before I could say it, I said, well, you wouldn't rape poor grandma, would you? And before I could say any more, grandma said, now you heard what the man said. Neighbor came over last night, had his aunt and uncle with him. We sat around the fire roasting marshmallows. Marshmallows give me gas, so I just reared it up and let a big old fart. Well, their uncle jumped up, madder than hell, and said, you farted before my wife. And I said, well, I didn't know it was her turn. This guy from the city, he wanted to go big game hunting, so he went out west and in there getting his license. I told him he'd be better off if you got a guide there, a local guide, you'd have a better chance of getting something. So, yeah, all right, so he got him a guide. The next morning he was out there and walking around hunting. This guy there, he'd get down on his knees and put his head to the ground. And he stood up and said, buffalo come. And said, the guy said, well, how do you know that? I don't see nothing. And he goes, tried to face sticky. Some time ago, there were dogs had a big meeting where all the dogs meet in this one big building. When they went in, they had to put their assholes on the table. You know, like cowboys, they had to hang their guns up, but those dogs, they had to put their assholes on this table. Well, they was in there for a while, and the fire broke out, and all them all run to the door and started grabbing assholes. Didn't matter as long as they got an asshole. Well, ever since then, that's when you see a dog smell another dog's asshole, he's hunting for his asshole. And if they get in a fight, well, that dog got his asshole, and that's what they're fighting about. Seen the doctor this afternoon. You want to know if I'll get along, any pains or anything? I said, well, I notice when I have sex, I get shortness of breath. And she said, how long's that been going on? Well, I first noticed it last night and again this morning. 3 people laying in the same bed, 2 of them men and one's a woman. The man's name is Bob and Tom. So what's the woman's name?
I don't know.
Well, Sharon Peters. They went in the bar the other night and sat down still and said, give me a shot of whiskey. I'm celebrating my first blowjob. Bartender, all right, sir? And he was drinking there, and he had about 8 of them. And the bartender said, well, the next is on the house. And he said, his neighbor said, well, if 8 won't get the taste out of my mouth, 1 more won't matter. Little Indian boy went up to his dad one day and said, Dad, how'd you name me and my brother and sister? And he said, Well, when your big brother was born, I went out of the TP and I looked out over the belly and there was a bear. So I called him Standing Bear. And when your sister was born, it came out of the TP and there looked over there and there was a deer. So I called her a Running Deer. He said, well, what do you want to know? Two dogs fucking? Me and the wife went to the doctor the other day. The doctor said, was everything working? Everything all right? And I said, well, I can't give you erection. She wanted to know if I can give you some pills for that. I asked the wife, I said, you want to give me some pills? And she said no. Well, I told the doctor to go ahead and give me some, maybe keep me from rolling out of bed. I came over this morning, said he figured out how to make a hormone. I said, you did? Well, that's great. How you do that? He said, I don't pay her. My wife said, if I die, would you get married again? Well, I shouldn't talk like that. If I die, would you get married again? Well, okay, yeah. And she said, well, would you sell the house? And I said, well, no. How about the furniture? Sell the furniture? No. Well, would you sleep in our bed? Yeah, I guess. I said, well, would you go golfing? I said, well, yeah. I said, well, would you let her use my clubs? He said, no, she's left-handed. I was first day of school and teacher asked him what his name was. He said, Billy Puckhour. She said, oh, that can't be right. You can't talk like that. And he said, well, I got a big brother in 4th grade. Well, we'll just go down there and see. So she went down there and knocked on the door, opened the door and said, excuse me, is there a Puckhour in here? And the little boy in the back jumped up and said, hell no, we don't even have a cookie break. Went to the doctor the other day, yesterday, and he wants me on a high fiber diet. Last night the old lady picked hot dogs and sauerkraut and cooked cabbage and baked beans. Damn it, they're working already. That kind of itch when it dries up. You hear that? Where are you going? Here, a woman driving down the country road came up on this here motorcycle there in the ditch, and guy laying there, and she gets out and asked if she hurt, and said, well, my arm hurts. He said, well, I'm a nurse, I can bandage it up. He said, well, my wife ain't gonna like this. And she said, well, she won't care, I'm a nurse. Get in the car. She got in the car and went down and said, where are you going? I'll take you down to my house. So I got in the house and got some drinks out and started drinking. And he said, well, my wife ain't gonna like this. She said, well, I'm a nurse, it'll be all right, but where is your wife? I'll take you to her. He said, well, she's probably still laying there in the ditch. I went to the doctor the other day, and the doctor said, well, what can I do for you? And I said, well, it ain't no big deal, but I got a lot of gas. And the farts are silent, but they don't stink. I've let 3 or 4 of them already in here now. The doctor said, well, here, give me some pills and said, come back in a couple of days. So I went back in a couple of days and I said, I don't know what you give me, but my damn farts stink now. And he said, well, that's good. Now I got your nose cleared up. Now I'll work on your ears. Neighbor came over a while ago and said he took his grandma to the dentist. And she went in the room before the dentist get in there, on the table and took her pants off. And the doctor came in there and said, well, I ain't that kind of a doctor. She said, I know that, but I want you to get my grandson's and grandpa's teeth out of there. Mary had a little lamb, the beast is white as snow. And everywhere Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. We followed her to school one day and a big black dog bucked it. Came over there a while ago, said he had this old refrigerator, he didn't have no use for it, so took it out in front of the house, out along on the curb, put up a free sign on it. Sat there for 3 days, nobody even looked at it. Said last night he put a for sale sign on it for $50. Got up this morning, it was gone. Somebody stole it. Damn cabbage. The difference between cow shit and bullshit.
No.
Well, cow shit splatters more because one hole higher. Well, I got my new hip and everything's going all right. The first day I got home, the old lady, guess what? She fed me cabbage. And that's working. Talk to you later. This old man went downtown and wanted some ice cream, so we had an ice cream parlor. There's a bad shape, couldn't hardly walk, and got up there and finally got up on the stool and told the waitress that she wanted a chocolate sundae. And she said, crust nuts? And he said, no, I've just got bad arthritis and bad hip. This little boy came running in the house and, Mommy, neighbor lady, she's trying to go to heaven. What makes you think that? Well, she's out there in the bushes with her arms and legs tucked up there saying, oh God, I'm coming. Oh God, I'm coming. And Daddy's on top of her trying to keep her down. This guy had this small business. Wasn't doing very good, and he had 2 employees. He didn't make enough pay 2, so he got to lay one of them off. He didn't know which one he was going to lay off, so he just thought he'd keep an eye on him and see what happened. There was a man and a woman named Mary, and the guy's name was Jack. So he seen Mary going to the water cooler, and she got some aspirin, took some aspirin. So he went down there and just talked to her and said, well, Mary, I'm either going to lay you or jack off. And she said, well, go ahead and jack off. I got a fucking headache anyway. A married couple, when they wanted to have sex, they'd say, go do the laundry. So the kids wouldn't know what they was doing. So one night there, the guy said, honey, you want to go help me do the laundry? He said, no, I don't feel like it. He got up and he went to the bedroom. About an hour later, she came in and got in bed with him. He said, well, honey, you want to do the laundry now? He said, nah, forget it. It was a small load and I did it by hand. This guy gets on the bus and sits right behind the bus driver and takes off, and the next stop is there another kid. I just gotta have you, I gotta make love to you. I'll do anything to make love to you. She said, I'm a nun, and I don't do that. Oh, please, I'll do anything. Well, the next stop, she got off. He says, the bus driver said, did you see how beautiful she is? And he said, yeah. He said, I'll just do anything if I could get her to make love to me. Have you got any suggestions? And the bus driver said, well, I know every night about 8 o'clock she goes down there at the Catholic church and she's praying there in front of the Virgin Mary. You need to go down there, dress up like God, and go down there and see her. So that's a good idea, I'll do that. Sure enough, there she was, praying there in front of the Virgin Mary. She turned around and said, oh God, oh my God, what are you doing? I'd just do anything for you. Is there anything I can do for you? She said, yes, my child. If you want to go to heaven, you have to make love to me. I'll do anything. That'll be all right. But could you do it in my ass? That way I can still be a virgin. He said, yeah, that'll be all right. So they get done. God gets up, puts his gown down. He starts laughing. And the nun says, well, what are you laughing at? And the guy says, well, you stupid bitch, I'm the guy who was on the bus this afternoon. And so she starts laughing. He said, well, what are you laughing at? And said, well, you dumbass, I'm the bus driver. There, guy was over in Egypt, and he wanted to go to this one town. So he went to the place to rent a camel. He told him where he wanted to go, and he said, well, that's 4 days off, and these camels only go 3 days without water. And he said, but for extra $50, I can get this one to go an extra day. And I said, all right. So he leaves him over there at the water trough, and the camels are drinking. He picks up 2 bricks, walks behind him, cracked him across the nuts. And that camel sucked up a big gob and said, okay, there's your extra day. I said, well, Dan, don't that hurt? He said, no, if you hold your thumbs out. Came over a couple of nights ago, one of the bars in the church was open. I said, yeah, what are you doing? He said, well, I'm going to wash my cat. I said, well, you can't use that on that cat. I'd burn him. Hell, might even kill him. Well, he went ahead and took it. Well, this morning I seen him out there and asked him how's his cat did. He said, well, it died. I said, I told you that damn soap was too strong and kill it. And he said, well, I don't think the soap what killed him. I said, well, what was wrong? He said, well, I think it was the spin cycle. The guy went camping up in Alaska in the winter and got up that one morning and one of them sensed the damn cold, said, poured a glass of water and froze right then. And the other camper, he said, well, hell, I can beat that. I can take the pee and it froze before it hit the ground. The other camper said, well, how I get the boat beat? Come on in my tent and I'll show you. So they went in the tent and he pulled back the bed covers and there's a brown spot there. He gets out of the mat, lights it, and touched the brown spot. As soon as he touched it, me and my buddy were walking down the road the other day, and I smelled shit and asked him if he shit in his britches. He said no. I said, well, look, you got shit over the back of your leg. And he said, oh, I thought you meant today. There's a grizzly bear, and there were 2 cubs out in the woods and walking along there, and they came upon 3 or 4 hikers. And the mama bear said, now pay attention. So she takes off running at him, gets about 10 feet from him and stops. Well, damn, they start screaming and hollering. And she goes back and she takes off again, runs up there, gets about 5 feet from him. Well, the hikers, they start screaming and hollering, jumping up in the air, scared to death. And she goes back and said, okay, kids, come on, we're going to eat them. So they went up there and they caught them and they ate them. Got done, they was laying there, and one of the cubs said, well, Mom, how come you had to go up there and run up and scare them like that? And Mom said, well, I found out if you scared the shit out of them, they taste better. A young couple got engaged, and they sat there in the car, and the boy said, well, being how we're engaged, can't we do it? She said, no, we're gonna wait 2 weeks and we're gonna get married. He put his arm around her, kissing her on the neck, and put his hand on her leg, and she said, I said 2 weeks, you're gonna have to wait. And he pouting her. So, well, could I just see it? Could I look at it? She said, well, I guess. So she pulls up her dress and he gets down there and she kind of pulls her panties aside so he can see it. And, yeah, that's a nice looking pussy. So they sat there a little bit and he said, well, could I just touch it? I said, well, you have to wait for 2 weeks. Pouting. She said, all right, go ahead. So he gets down there and she raises up her dress and he puts his hand in there and he pats it a little bit and says, that's a nice soft pussy. And he's sitting there and He said, well, you think I could? No. Wait for 2 weeks. We get the pouch. I said, well, could I just smell it? She says, well, I guess. So he gets down there and she raises her dress up and she pulls her panties over one side and he gets down there and sticks his nose right in it and he goes, God, damn, you think that gonna keep for 2 weeks? Neighbor and a couple of his friends took his Sunday drive out in the country and he was going down through there and he seen this old sow pig out there in the pasture, head down in the dirt, and all you could see is her ass sticking up. And one of them said, boy, I wish that was Marilyn Monroe. And the other said, well, I wish it was Raquel Welch. And then my neighbor said, well, I just wish it was dark. Came over there today and said he went to the doctor, wants some Viagra pills. Want 3 of them. The doctor said, well, you want 3 of them for? Well, Friday night, my ex-wife coming, and Saturday night, my girlfriend, and Sunday night, the old gal I picked up at the bar coming Sunday night. And the doctor said, well, I don't know if you can do that 3 nights in a row, but I'll give them to you, but you better come in and see me Monday, see how you're doing. So he went in there Monday and had his arm all in a sling, and the doctor said, well, what happened? And he said, well, nobody showed up. Came over this morning, said he went to a whorehouse last night. Said he got there in the room, and the lady told him to take his pants down, and he took his pants down, and she started laughing. He said, well, what are you laughing at? And she said, well, who you gonna satisfy that little weedy Peter? And he said, well, by God, me. Neighbor came over this morning and asked him what he'd been doing. Ain't seen him for a while. And he said, well, I've been dating these twins. I said, well, how do you keep them apart? He said, well, Bonnie, she wears red lipstick, match her red fingernails, and Donnie, he's got a dick. Neighbor came over a while ago and said he went uptown the other night and picked up a girl at the bar, and she took him home with her and got there in bed, and he got done. He's gonna smoke a joint. He didn't have no matches. You wanna know if she had any matches? She said, yeah, I got some there in the bedstand in the drawer. She opens the door, and underneath the matches there's a picture. This man, he said, he got kind of scared. He said, is that your husband? She said, no. Well, your boyfriend? No. He said, well, who is it then? And she said, it's me before the operation. God damn it. Why can't she go and shit in the neighbor's yard like I told her? God damn. Now she's gonna spin out here in a little bit. Oh, she ain't done yet. Well, maybe she is. Let's just spin it. You done? Hey, you done? Go watch your ass now. The lady's mad at me. We're getting ready to go uptown. Came out there getting ready to go, and I said, well, you need to straighten up your pantyhose. They're all wrinkled. And she said, well, bastard, I ain't wearing any. My wife coming home to town today, and the state cop pulled me over. Up there and pecked on the window. He said, you know how fast you going? I said, yeah, 55. My wife there said, well, honey, you're going 80. And the cop said, well, what about the seatbelt? You didn't get the seatbelt on. I said, well, I took that off and you stopped me. And she said, well, you never put it on. Son of a bitch, would you keep your mouth shut? And the cop said, does he talk to you like that all the time? And he said, oh no, just when he's been drinking. Well, go to court next week.
I smell shit. Did you shit your pants?
Well, no.
Or look, stand up. Turn around. Jesus, you got dried shit over your pants.
Oh, well, I thought you meant today.
Christ.
This guy sat in the bar one night and asked the bartender if he knew where he could find a virgin. bartender said, well, you ain't gonna find none in here, but there's a farmer out east of town there got $3. Might check on them. So the next day, went out there and we asked the oldest one for a date. We took her out on a date and fed her a good supper and went out and got in the car and drove around and they parked. And he pulled down his pants, pulled out his pecker, and he said, you know what this is? I said, yeah, it's a dick. And he said, the hell, I don't want her. She knows all about it. So the next day he asked the middle sister. He took her out for supper and fed her and went out and parked, pulled down his pants, pulled his pecker out, and said, you know what this is? I said, yeah, it's a dick. Oh, God, same thing. So the next day I got the youngest daughter, took her out and fed her and went out and parked, pulled down his pants. He said, you know what this is? I said, yeah, pee-pee. So by God, she's the one, she don't know nothing about it. Well, they got married, and on the wedding night, she got in bed, and he took her clothes off, and she pointed at it and said, pee-pee. He said, now, we just have her married, you don't have to call it pee-pee, you can call it a dick. He said, well, that ain't no dick. The dick's 10 inches and black. The government got a hold of these scientists and give them a $250,000 grant to find out why the head of your dick is bigger than the shaft. Well, they studied for a month, couldn't come up with an answer. And one of the scientists' boys said, well, Dad, me and my buddies, we'll do that for $100 a piece. So, all right. So they was only at it for a week. And they came back and he said, well, did you find out? He said, yeah. It keeps your hand from sliding off and hitting you in the forehead.